Hi guys, Yanis here from Scan Heating. Today we have a very interesting topic. You asked me about this a couple of times and I would like to thank you, particularly Claudio and Joseph. They asked me how internally the air source heat pump works, how it looks like the system, what's the very basic components. And that's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna stick to the very basic components because there are quite more things inside of the air source heating pump, but we have to make sure we understand the basics. First of all, let's speak about how many types of air source heating pump we have. We have air source heating pumps directly air to air. We have air source heating pump directly air to hot water. And then we have an air source heating pump water to water on the ground source heating pumps. But we're gonna speak in another course about this one more detail. Let's dive in and explain how the air source heating pump works. Today we're gonna deal only with this bit here. We're not to expand very detailed to the rest ones. And we will speak about the basic components. So we have the evaporator, which is like a very big radiator, let's say. And we have the condenser, which is actually the heat exchange plate. We have the compressor, the system which actually compresses the gas, and we have the expansion valve. I don't want to speak very technical. The evaporator is the radiator on the external unit with a fan on it in order to, how can I say, take the fan past the ambient temperature through the grid of the radiator and give the energy from the environment to evaporator. The compression is like a piston, which actually on the very basic level, because there are a lot of other compressors now, but the very basic in order to link in our brains is like a little piston. Goes up, compress and send, take, compress, send, take, compress, send, and then send back to the condenser, which is the heat exchange plate, the classic heat exchange plate, as you know guys from the combi boilers. And then we have the expansion valve. What is the expansion valve? Just the point on the pipe was actually getting restrict, and because the gas find very difficult restrictions, as soon as it goes out, then spread the low pressure, which is quite cold. Low pressure side on this area, high pressure side. You have to remember, or the low pressure side, we have the low temperatures as well, and the high pressure side, we have the high temperatures as well. So the refrigerator is always in a gas, but sometimes the gas getting liquid. Of course, when we go to the compressor, we have to go 100% as a gas, otherwise we're going to damage the compressor. That's why we use this cycle. The low pressure gas coming here, compressed, getting high pressure, and we have the high temperature. This high temperature take of the heat exchange plate, send it by the circulation pump to the hot water cylinder, radiator, or under for heating, whatever, come back cold, and this cycle goes on and on. Also, this high pressure goes then into the expansion valve to the restriction point, and it's like a little spray like this one, guys. I'm not sure if the camera can show that. And we have this. And as this one evaporated, goes to the evaporator and then observe all the energy from the environment through the air which is going through the radiator, and then goes very low pressure and the gas condition, and again we go this cycle on and on. What's the benefits and why we use this one? For every unit of electricity we use for the electrical compression here, we take another 3 units energy from the environment. And how that happen? Because that's renewable. We can take that energy from the air. So in other words, 3 units of energy coming from the environment, another unit from electricity goes in for the compressor, and actually we have 1 unit of electricity give us in the end 4 units of energy, because 1 unit is from the electricity, 3 units from the environment, 4 units of electricity. As a result, as you can imagine, the efficiency of the states is more than 300%, which is amazing. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, or would you like another video, or if you have any particular questions, please don't hesitate to give me a message underneath the comments. Please subscribe, like this video, in order to make this channel bigger and go to meet more people, more engineers, or more not engineers, they want to learn a few things. I'm more than happy to help every single person. Thank you so much one more time for your support. Have a good evening.